Edith, she was one of a kind. She was not only a giving person, she was loyal, she was loving, she was caring, she was understanding.
She was always very personal. She made you feel like you were related to her, almost.
You never went anywhere with Edith that people didn't know her and come over and want to speak to her.
She was very small, and she wore enormous hats to everything. And she was, some people thought that she was foolish the way she dressed, but she was the smartest, brightest, most clever person you'd want to meet. She was excellent in merchandising. She had a store, you know, a gift shop with exquisite things, everything from $5 items to museum pieces.
A lot of people knew her from her shop, beautiful gifts and what have you. But her and I, being antique collectors, we had a lot to share, a lot to talk about.
It was really, I would say, my group that was at an age where we were looking for gifts. Everyone was getting married and you wanted someplace special to buy a present. And we knew we could go to Edith's and buy a present and have it wrapped magnificently.
You would go in there and it was as though she was welcoming you to her living room. And she would take such an interest in what you were going to buy, what you needed, and she would ask, and who is it for? And she would, whether it was a $5 gift or a $500 gift, Edith paid as much attention to her customers, and they were wrapped exquisitely.
She was proud of her merchandise and always wanted it to leave her store looking beautiful. I look around my house, and so much that I see reminds me of Edith and Alfred.
Here was a lady who would never leave her house with no makeup, not dressed nice, always left home looking like a lady and acted like a lady. And I think she instilled that in a lot of people. And I mean, especially with her clothing, her hats, and her dresses, as we all know. I mean, that was her. That was Edith, but I think people admired her for who she was a really caring and a lovely human being.
She would do anything to help you if you needed her, or if you were in need. She would always be there for you. You didn't have to ask. She would just be there.
She had no children, so she was very involved with the community. And every cause, every good cause, Edith was in it.
I think she especially loved young people, and she had a great desire to continue to be aware of the times and to keep current with things that were happening in the world.
Edith was always thinking about other people than herself. Even at the end, there was a trade show in New York, and she just had to go. I called her up one night before the show and I said, look, I don't want you going whatsoever. Your health right now is more important than that trade show. Well, I got to buy gifts for for people and this and that. It shows you at the end how unselfish she was.
She was an exceptionally generous person, and people meant a great deal to her.
I think that maybe the legacy that Edith left us that I'm most impressed by is the gift of her collection, the Edith and Alfred Susskind collection.
She was unique. She was one of a kind, and I don't think there'll ever be another Edith, ever.
I look at Edith and I just feel that I was so blessed to have her in my life as a friend. She was a very loyal friend, and I'll never forget her. She was the best.